What is going on, folks? Will Turbin here. Fake Mike. Oh, real news. 2 for 2 on the grab today. That's right. We're live again. We're live and direct on the air, guys. That's the name of this video, LiveAndDirectOnTheAir.com. And we talk a lot of stuff about the baddies and the bad people, the wizards that are running things. We all know the names. We just talked about it in our last stream. There, we just talked about the names. We named some names. We chat some people. So, guys, share this video because we're going to be addressing some problems too. But this is a guy that's delivered on solutions. This is a guy that's, I say it all the time, this guy's an actual legitimate hero. He's way better than any hero that you guys have out there. This guy's like a modern day Harriet Tubman. He's been freeing slaves, like legit slaves. Avi, welcome to the welcome back to Fake Mike Real News. How you doing today, pimp?
I'm doing good. Thank you for letting me air once again with you guys, man. I'm honored, man.
Hey, Avi's a brother. He's always welcome here on the show. We're always in contact, man. He does a lot of great work. He's dealing with his own stuff he got to deal with. He drives out of his way to support Rise of the Moors. Shout outs to Rise of the Moors. We're gonna free them. Freedom is a must, and that's the topic today. And we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of it. But who is Avi? Who is Avi? Let's get to your story for anybody that doesn't know. You know, starting when you were a kid, man. Like, who are you, bro? What's your life like, player?
So I mean, my life is a regular life. Grew up in the hood. A guy that got along with everybody. Never into no beefs, no static. I just got along with everybody as growing up as a kid. I was a friendly guy, a guy that always joking and playing around and trying to make people feel at home, man. And growing up, man, I bumped into different obstacles that everybody in life bumps into. Whether you're rich, whether you're not, you bump into different obstacles. And so I had a life that growing up, my obstacles was either being wrongfully convicted on certain things, on certain cases, and trying to fight myself to get out, man, and realizing that when you're in these fights, you really don't have people that are, when you look back, there's nobody there to help you out, and you got to mend for yourself, because if you don't mend for yourself, it's never going to be a freedom is a must, man. And growing up, I continue to help individuals, whether it's men or women, whether they're wrongfully convicted or not, whether they did the crimes or not. I'm a person that I'm there for them. I understand. I know people make mistakes, and that's what I do. Freedom is a must, man.
Yeah, so tell people about the stuff that you've been working on recently. Like, what your projects you've been working on recently as far as getting these people out? Because last I checked, it was 6 people that you gotten out of jail. Tell people how that journey started.
So the journey started. My father, Shadi Gross, had a program to visit the prisons, and in the prisons every Sunday, the visitors didn't know who the visiting people were, because it was a surprise. It was to make somebody smile, somebody to come out themselves to enjoy a little 8 hours of a visit, like in the free world. And throughout this process, I met a lot of individuals that were actually wrongfully convicted, that actually said they were wrongfully convicted, or they were there convicted of a crime that they did commit, but that there was no way for them to come out and change their lives, because every time they come out, because they felons, they always attacked, they can't get a job, and there's always situations. So I started with this one individual named Robert Acosta, who was a doctor from Santo Domingo, and he was in prison 27 years for a crime he didn't commit. He actually came from Santo Domingo. He was a doctor, politician. He came to New York, and he came to explore, to visit, to maybe change his medic and his career down this way in New York, the Big Apple, what they call it, the free world. And upon coming over here, maybe in the process of 2 weeks, he was arrested for a crime that was murder, arson, kidnapping, all type of crimes of guns, for something that the man never committed with somebody else. But because he had faith that he knew he didn't do it, and he had faith in the justice system, he decided to not be stressed out or nothing. He just went along with it until he was actually seeing himself going to trial for a crime that he lost, and he was given life for. And he was actually the first one that we helped out, that other people turned him down. Exoneration programs. They said they looked over his case. There was no merits, and everybody turned him down. The last result was that I happened to be in that visit somebody happened to tell me about his situation. I happened to get his contact. Uh, we got in contact with each other, and I actually helped him out, and he was released after 27 years, exonerated for the crime that he has never committed. And you guys were there. You guys came down to interview the young man. You know, he was there 27 years, and he held faith all them years for a crime that he didn't commit.
And so that was the first guy. This guy, and by the way, we had 40 something watching earlier. We only got 3 now, so we need to share this video, guys. Get this video out. This video is very, 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 very specifically important. So get this out. So this guy's, you know, he came over here from Dominican Republic. He's a doctor. He's a politician. He goes away. He burns through all of his appeals. He had faith in the justice system, and that didn't get him anywhere. The nonprofits didn't do anything, and you came along and you were able to help that person. You get this guy out of jail after he's wrongfully convicted, after 27 years, after everybody except his daughters turned his back on him, and you're able to free somebody. What did that feel like when he's finally out of jail? What was going through your head and your body, your heart?
Well, because it was the first case that I dealt with, I couldn't believe that I actually, you know, did what I did. That I actually was out there fighting as it was me. I was fighting for his case as it was my case, you know, fighting for freedom. And, you know, I was happy, I was proud, I was honored that I was able to make moves for him. I was able to go and get his minutes, make copies of all the transcripts, thousands of transcripts. I was able to stop at each firm, a firm after firm after firm, saying, listen, read my case, you know, and even though it was his case, read my case and please let me know I was wrongfully convicted. Let me know if you can help. Read the details. Everything is there, already made up, already, you know, put together. So, you know, you can see that I'm wrongfully convicted. So I will receive calls back, and I thank God that some of the lawyers went pro bono to take these cases. But they call back and they say, well, listen, this is not you. And I said, I understand it's not me, but I'm fighting for somebody as if it's me. And I had to come to you in a way that you know that it's coming from me, from my heart, so you're able to understand and take these cases. So we were blessed to have a lot of lawyers take these pro bono cases.
And shout outs, because we always bash on lawyers, but the fact that you had some lawyers out there and they took it on pro bono, I don't know if you want to shout them out or names or whatever, but I mean, that's very rare. And it was because of your due diligence. You could have just gave up on the first people you called or sent messages to. But if people try hard enough, we do have allies out there. It's difficult. It's really difficult, but we do have some allies, and you're not going to know that unless you start doing this type of thing in the first place.
And you have many. You have my attorney now, which is my attorney, Marty Tankleff. Marty Tankleff was the case of the Long Island case where they said he killed his mother and his father. And he spent decades in prison, came out, got exonerated. He became a lawyer, went to the bar. He went through all these college programs. He did whatever he could do to hold on while he was in there. Got exonerated. And he's actually my lawyer now, and he has an office in Park Avenue. So shout outs to Steve Metcalf and also Marty Tankleff, exonerated for crimes they didn't commit.
He was in jail, and then he got out. He studied, he passed the bar. Now he's freeing wrongfully convicted people.
He is in 99 Park Avenue, and in New York City. And he came out, got exonerated. He took the bar, and now he's along with partnership with Steve Metcalf, and they opened a firm, and they also helping the brothers left behind.
That is amazing, amazing work. Shout outs to those guys, man. Guys, go shout those people out, help them out, man. That's awesome. That's really inspiring, because I know that me and Mr. America Auditing America looked around for some good lawyers for a long time, because we've had our rights violated several times. Nothing to the degree, obviously, of what the people that you're dealing with are going through, and it's very tough to find them. So that the fact that we have those guys out there, that's great stuff. All right, yeah, Christian, and haven't seen you in a long time. We just had 40 people watching. Now it's a lot less than that. So guys, please share the feed. I'm not seeing any comments. This is weird. So shout outs to everybody in the chat. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is an important video, so get this out. This guy right here, LiveAndDirectOnTheAir.com. Find him on LiveAndDirectOnTheAir and all platforms. LiveAndDirectOnTheAir. He's been freeing people wrongfully incarcerated. The first gentleman we talked about, 27 years. And like I was talking about before when we had this conversation, everybody gives up on you. Your family, your friends, they believe it. The only people that stuck by you are your daughters. This completely ruins your life, and there's no amount of money that you can get that's going to give you back the best years of your life. 27
Exactly.
years. I mean, how much money could you make being a doctor in 27 years? And trade me $1 billion for 27 years of my life. You can keep the $1 billion. I like my life. So then that case gets out. You get freed. But before that even happened, did you even think you would be able to get this guy out in the first place?
Well, you know how we say, when we grow up out the hood, we know how to hustle, whether it's dealing drugs or whether it's selling hats, selling shirts, whatever it is. We hustlers coming out the hood because we trying to survive. And I said, listen, I need to hustle this down. I need to get this guy out. This guy, he cried, and he was in pain, man. He said, man, listen, this was my last letter here. He said, this program just sent me this letter. It was the Innocent Project, and the letter said, listen, we looked through all your paperwork, all your transcripts, and apparently we found no merits, man.
So
And
let me ask,
yeah.
sorry, but this is interesting to me, right? Because this guy, he comes from Dominican Republic, falsely believing this is a land of freedom and justice. And he said in our interview we did with him that I said, how did it feel when you were convicted? He said, not too bad, because I figured that, this is America. They're going to figure this out. I'll get my appeal. Everything will be okay. Then he lost his appeals. Then the Innocent Project and all these other nonprofits, they say there's no merit, but then you find merit. Why is that? What was going on? Not want to see it? Or
the difference is that a lot of these organizations they not for profit. They get money from governments, so they really don't work as hard they work hard to get that money, but they don't work as hard as to help people. And if you don't have somebody actually going out there really advocating and really investigating, going to the crime scene, going to the block where it happened, speaking to witnesses, speaking to people that didn't notarize letters, then there were some people there that said that I don't remember, but this, that. Well, how you don't remember when you signed a notarized letter saying that this man committed this at this time and this day? If somebody committed a murder or did a crime such as that, this is something you're gonna remember for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So it was actually something that we had to replay. We had to replay, go through the steps. Like a regular crime scene. We did a crime scene to go in and we followed the steps backwards all the way to the beginning of the crime.
And that's why Mr. America and Live and Direct on the Air do what we do. People say, oh, you guys hate everybody. You hate cops. Go get a job. Well, you know what? If the cops were actually doing their job, we wouldn't have to go out and free these people from prisons. Avi could just be kicking it, chilling, doing whatever he wants to do. But unfortunately, they're not doing the job. The justice system is not doing the job. According to a recent study, just Google it, over 50 years of police's own data was surveyed, and it found out that 96% of major cases are not prosecuted by the police. And then they get the wrong people in jail. So this is why, because even on video, they'll choke out Eric Gardner over cigarettes in broad daylight. This is why Mr. America and Avi from Live and Direct on the Air does what he does. So before we talk about some of these other cases here, you've gone through 6 cases and more. You're working on more. And I want to talk about
the last one now was with the Federal Star from Onyx. His family member has 75 years to natural life, never coming home.
And
shout out to Federal Star from Onyx. Sticky Fingers, Sunny Seas.
I'm Sticky Fingers.
That's right.
I'm outrageous when it comes to flipping a gat. Yeah, like honestly, man, true hip hop. And this guy's doing work for people. I mean, that put us on. You know what I'm saying? That woke us up and gave us something to fight for.
Right, that's right. So Calvin Taylor, aka Love, a family member of Federal Star and Onyx, he has 75 years to natural life. And natural life means that you never coming home. And if you give up hope, you never coming home. But thank God, shout out to Top Notch, Derek Hamilton, who also was exonerated after decades being in prison from the same corrupt detective and LaVon Richardson. We were able to get together also with Federal Star, Sticky Finger, Sunny Seas to investigate and reenact the case again. Again, get into the crime scene, look and see what was missing, who did what, who lied, what crackhead they used to pay off, what guy was working off on the case to be the case, to lie and snitch.
So let's talk about that, right? Because you've seen these different cases, right? And these people use these tactics to get these convictions. And you've seen 6 cases, so I'm sure you're noticing some patterns of the tactics they use. What are some tactics that they use? Show us. Tell people tactics.
Right here in these papers right here, there's about 30 sheets right here. Out of these 30 sheets, is maybe more than 2,000 years right here alone. These are all these 30 sheets here, guys, that were exonerated by one corrupt detective from Brooklyn, New York, named Scarcella. Scarcella, to get these medals under his belt, what he do is he do anything as means necessary to become top-notch a detective, as you know, he walked around thinking he was. What he was doing was he was paying crackheads off the streets, and he was doing these classes where they would come in there and they would train them on what to say on trial, what to say under indictments, and they train these guys to go up there and lie in the grand juries, in front of the judge, in front of trials. He would also get people that were snitching, guys that were trying to beat cases, and they would do anything and say anything to get off their cases. So this guy here, man, this is only 30 people here. It's been hundreds and hundreds. The guy in Brooklyn, New York, Scarcella, the corrupt detective, has been known, you know, and he's out there, he's walking freely, he's home, he's enjoying life, while all these guys came home exonerated. 30 of these guys here, right here, I got here right now, starting with Derek Hamilton and all the rest of them, has been exonerated. Brooklyn, New York.
What's his name again?
Scarcella, Detective Scarcella.
Scott Seller. So this guy he put over what 2,000 years worth of people for long convicted. What's up with him? Is he still on the force? Is he retired? Is he in jail?
He retired. He's still walking with a shield, a retired shield. He's still walking with a retired gun. He's still respected for what he did.
And so, this is why abolishing qualified immunity is so important, is because this guy is just sitting there. He put all these people in prison for no reason, and he gets to collect a retirement off of. Now, it's one thing to break your oath, and that's bad enough. But then when you're willing, what was this guy? What was this guy's motivation? Why do you think was he just trying to get numbers? Was he a racist? Was he a psycho?
He was trying to be the head detective of Brooklyn North, Brooklyn South, wherever, you know, Brooklyn period. Brooklyn is Brooklyn, but he was trying to.
Then that looks good for your numbers, and so they'll promote you. Is that what you're saying?
They promoted him. He became a Class A detective, head of the department, and you know, at the end of all these guys being exonerated, which is hundreds and hundreds, I'm just showing you 30 papers of 30 guys that did 27 years, 25 years, 30 years, 35 years, and the thing is that these guys were able to get turnarounds because he used the same witnesses, the same crackheads, the same guys that were trying to beat cases on all these cases. How are these guys used on all these cases?
So what's going? And so it's obviously the corrupt cop is bad for bringing him there and doing it. But meanwhile, it's got to be the same judges and the same lawyers seeing the same crackheads over and over and over again. How duplicitous do you think they are in all of this?
You know, I blame on all of them. I blame on all of them, Will. Everybody should get the blame from the bottom to the top, from the investigating officers, for those that did the falsely reports, the falsely crime scene. Let's quote John Bunn, which I have in my. Let me show you. I have in my wall right here. John Bunn. I don't know if you can see him. John Bunn did 27 years for a crime he didn't commit. And what happened with John Bunn, that when he got exonerated, came back down to the judge. He had the same prosecutor. The same prosecutor that gave him the 27 years ago. And you know what he told him? He said, I told you 27 years ago that I did not commit this crime. And he said no more word. Here, as you see him, he's crying to the judge right here. See, he's crying to the judge right here.
Show those pictures close up, and tell me, when that guy said that, did the prosecutors show any? Look at that. Jesus Christ. You're the fucking man, dude. Yo, when he said that, what was the expression, if any, on the prosecutor's face?
The prosecutor had nothing to say, because after the words that he told him, he said, listen, 27 years ago, I told you I didn't commit this crime. And he had no more to say to him, and he had to look down, because he knew that the district attorney knew already this was a whole scam. He knew that it was the setup. You know, when they go to court, they say, listen, I'll give you this one, and then next time you give me that one. You know, and they go back and forth and play with people's lives. And what they did was, that's what they did with him. He was the guy that was a young kid. He was a youth. And because he didn't know no better, he didn't know how to read at that time. You know, they used him. They used him for this crime. You know, he didn't know it, and they happened to get him in his grandmother's house. Woke him up late at night, 3 or 4 in the morning, and
That feels
district
like
attorney couldn't say nothing. He was part of the corruption.
so. That just shows you what one man with a tireless effort can do. And you've made such an amazing change, man. Honestly, I tell people all the time, even behind the scenes, people over there watching Tom Brady or talking about the NFL, and it just makes me mad. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with sports. Sports are fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that people are just obsessed with Captain America and freaking Tom Brady, it just gets me so mad that these guys idolize these people in tights and makeup, and you're like I interview a lot of people. Today, I just recorded. It was a little late. I just recorded with Jordan Maxwell, and hopefully he's still going to come on the show later. I mean, Jordan Maxwell is one of my heroes, but you're up there with Jordan Maxwell. Jordan Maxwell's the man. He woke me up. He's given information to millions of people. He's helped out Wu-Tang just like you, so you guys overlap there. But he's never freed anybody from prison, let alone 6 people who were there. That's powerful. He's freed our mental prisons, which is awesome. But you've done both, and that's amazing. That's why Avi's one of my favorite guests. Thank you for Topspin and Kristen for rocking in the chat. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Just make some comments for the algorithm. Share this video because this is important stuff here. This is like the most important stuff. So you got these corrupt judges.
All these are documents. All these are documents, Will, that they come in. You see, this is the guy right here. This is the guy right here. Let me show you everybody here. Let me show the front of this. This is the guy right here that lied in a testimony, lied in documents saying that somebody committed a murder that didn't really commit the murder. And here's, look, this is documents that come in. This is, daily we get these documents, wrongfully convicted documents. And, these are brothers that don't have attorneys. They don't have lawyers. They know that they right. They crying in there. They don't have money for lawyers, anything like that. And, they find ways for help. These guys, when they go in there, people don't believe them. Listen, you did the crime, you did it. Go pay for the time and keep it moving. So, it's until they get exonerated that people say, well, listen, damn, I didn't know. Yeah, I told you from the beginning I was innocent. And, all these papers here come daily with guys that are trying to get home.
Let me ask you a random question. This is kind of a fun question because I'll be dead honest with you, dog. One of the things, besides people messing with kids, one of the most hurtful things to me is somebody locked in a cage. I've said this before, off and on camera. I don't even wish extended jail time on my worst enemies. I mean, I don't honestly wish even my worst enemies more than 5 years in jail. There's some people, 5 years in jail. I'm not saying to kill them. I'm not saying to let them go. I'm not saying what we should do with these people. But I just know prison is one of the most, taking somebody's freedom is one of it. I think that's cruel and unusual punishment alone, but that's another story.
It is.
So
it is.
It hurts me when me and Mr. America from Auditing America, everyone go over there, like, share, and subscribe. We got tons of videos over there with Live and Direct on the Air. And so when we go and we audit a prison, I get certain times I'll get really nervous if we audit somewhere big, like the NSA or NASA or the Pentagon. I get a little, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I get nervous. Sometimes I don't. And sometimes I get nervous. I get a little nervous because, like, dog, you're going up against the Pentagon right here. But when I have a different feeling when I audit prisons, I'm an empath, and that's part of the reason I do this is because I feel bad for what's going on for other people. And when I'm outside of that prison, I'm in the lobby, and I see the guys coming to the windows, it hurts me. It hurts me to realize not just the wrongfully convicted, but also the majority of people that are in there for crimes are there for nonviolent drug offenses. It's a war on drugs. It's unconstitutional. It's illegal. It really hurts me, especially the Rise of the Moors. Shout out to Jamal and Rise of the Moors. Everyone go to the Rise of Moabites on Instagram. Rise of the Moabites. Rise of the Moabites. Support them. Send a donation. Cash App. Yeah, honestly, man, like, these guys have been locked up. Somebody with another thing that Avi's been working on too is Jamal and Rise of the Moors, who Jamal has no criminal record. He served honorably in the services. His father served honorably in the forces. No criminal record. Never espoused any pro-violence, anything like that. Is pro-constitution. He's been locked up this whole summer for no reason. And so it just hurts me when we talk about this. But let me ask you on a lighter note here. When these people do get out of jail, finally, what are some of the things they first want to do after the fact? Because, I mean, I have my ideas. Like, because when I hear these stories, these heart-wrenching stories, it at least makes me feel good that because of you, because of Live and Direct on the Air, there's a happy ending. Most of them aren't happy endings. But because of you, you've made amazing stories. They're going to make a documentary about you, dude, because all this stuff that you're doing, they should already be doing a documentary on just one of the stories that you've helped. That would be Netflix all over the place, right? So this is kind of a fun one, though. What do people want to do when they first get out?
When they first come out, they want to eat a nice meal, you know, that nice oily meal, rice, beans, chicken, pork chops. But you know, they stress more before that. They stress about where they're going to. Remember that after 27 years, you lost your mother, you lost your kid through gun fights in the streets. You know, you lost your father. You have nobody to come to. So when you come out here, you come in like a robot. You know, when you see the phone, a cell phone, you're like, what the hell is this? You know, you remember going into prison, seeing the phones that had a cord on it. You know, so you know, their first thing is, where am I gonna lay my head at? Where am I gonna get a job? Or am I gonna go out there and get frustrated the first week and end up coming back into prison again? So we established that, you know, Live and Direct, where you came and did interview, we had 3 or 4 brothers came home, had nowhere to go, and that's where they stood. They stood there, stood upstairs in the house. We were glad to have the apartment upstairs and downstairs for them, which has kitchen, has everything in there for them to come home and then get on their feet and, you know, move on to, you know, to fixing their life up, man. Because it's not easy getting paperwork, going into the motor vehicle. You know, it's like a whole, it's a big thing, man. But you know, most of these guys come home and they come out the door and they wondering, where am I gonna go? You know, where am I gonna get money from? How long is it gonna take for work? Then they go to these jobs, and because they have felons, they don't want to take them. They give them hard times. You know, and it's crazy.
And then the government, after they wrongfully convict you, they take your Second Amendment away, which is totally illegal and unconstitutional. So you don't have the right to defend yourself. It's difficult to find work. Everybody in your family like gave up on you, mostly, and your family and your friends. You're in a whole new world 20, 30, 35 years later. I mean, Back to the Future was what, 55 to 65, 75, 85. Literally in the movie Back to the Future, some of these people coming out after 35 years. That's more than Back to the Future. Imagine you went to jail in the 50s, you wake up in the 80s. Imagine you go to the jail 95, 2005, you come out in 2015, you're like, what the hell is an emoji?
But you know what? Right? You know, Will, somebody has to be accountable. You know, this corrupt detective Scarcella and all those in command, from the clerk to the OIC officer in charge, everybody has to be accountable, from the judge, from the district attorney, even the attorney who played attorney. But you know, a lot of these attorneys are not really your attorneys. You know, they, like I said, they sell you out to the district attorney. They're not paid attorneys, and you know, people have to be held accountable. Accountable how? I showed you 30 alone of documents of guys. Each of these documents is 25, 35 years, 30 years that these guys undid. This guy gets to walk around freely, enjoy his summer, while these guys did all this time in there, come out, they got exonerated. And the system knows that it was an unjust system, that this guy was wrong, but he's still free.
You know what that smells like, Avi? Oh, yeah. That smells like a audit. That smells like an audit. How does it feel to wrongfully incarcerating people? Oh man, we're gonna talk behind the scenes, and we're gonna legally and lawfully. You're gonna give me some intel, and I'm going to go perform a First Amendment audit and own I'm gonna wreck #REK because I'm cool. Wrecked.
Right.
They're gonna get. I'm gonna wreck this fool. This fool is such a loser. You know, the least I can do is put his stupid, ugly face all over the internet and see how he responds when someone asks him, "Hey, how does it feel to put innocent people away? Can you sleep well at night knowing that you made a career off of ripping people away from your families? You worthless piece of."
He was confronted. He was confronted. He was confronted by 3 of the exonerees. Confronted.
Oh, really?
He had the articles here. He was confronted by let me see, the article starts by saying three of them, you know, told him they waited for him out in the courtroom. It says former detective is confronted by wrongfully convicted men. Right here, walking into the courtroom.
wrecked. Put that close. Hashtag REKT, wrecked. Oh my God, that's the face of somebody that has been thoroughly owned. Wrecked.
Scarcella.
What loser? What's his name? Say his name 3 times so it's famous.
Scarcella from Brooklyn, New York. Louis Scarcella.
I'll lock you up, buddy.
It's crazy.
Oh, buddy. So is it the same thing? And tell people about the other people that you went from the first case. This guy was there for 27 years. You finally freed him. And then, so were you like, all right, let me take a vacation and drink some Coronas with my pinkies up, or what happened next?
Nah, it was something that that became, you know, part of my blood, man. It's something that I needed to do more, knowing that there were hundreds and hundreds of other people in the same situation. You know, and it's not just New York. It's not just Connecticut. People from North Carolina. You know, people from other places, from Puerto Rico. We have a sister corporate from Puerto Rico. It's crazy.
North Carolina.
New Hampshire,
They're locking people up all over the place. Yeah, they hate freedom. People wonder. People go get a job. We'll shut up your grace. No, this is all facts. I have a job, by the way. I wish I didn't have to, but I have a job. We're working on that. But guess what? This is all real shit. You said hundreds. It's thousands of people.
Thousands of people.
People wrongfully convicted.
I got a loan in my desk right now. More than 15 cases.
This guys, everybody go to Live and Direct on the Air. Donate to this guy's work so he can have help. I mean, show people all those documents that you have right there again, please. Show people all those documents.
So this brother here.
And time does it take to go through all those documents?
So as you see right here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I mean, this is all paperwork, all minutes, all papers, envelopes coming in from different individuals. And as you can see over here, we do a reconstruct. We do right here. Can you see that, Will?
This is real life. Okay, you guys all online, share this. Guys, I want you guys to share this with all your true crime friends, right? I watch true crime. It's interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's some interesting connections there if you read the book Program to Kill. That's another story for another day. Take a look, guys. This is actual true crime. But this is the true crime that always happens. The cops never solve the case. And then sometimes it's only the private investigators or the victims' families, but that doesn't always happen. So Avi comes in and he starts freeing motherfuckers from jail. 6 people, guys. Even if you have no money to donate, if you have $5, give this guy $5. Even if you don't, give him $20, $100, and that's fine if you don't. Guys, what's the way for people to connect to you? Maybe some people can help you in another way that doesn't involve money, where they can sort through stuff. Because you gave me a headache just looking at all those documents.
The truth is, Will, that, you know, I would rather, you know, the subscribers and you know, because it shows not only support, you know, it makes change, but it also shows support and you know, the subscribers, you know, will help out. You know, it's not all about money. It's not all about money. It's about helping, man. We got to help each other, whether we black, whether we African, Spanish, Puerto Rican, Cuban, you know, and go to the YouTube channel. You know, go to the YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button, because you know, once I hit that 1,000, I'm able to go live. I'm able to hit them prisons, and I'm able to go in there and fight, you know, prison reform and wrongfully convicted.
How many are you at right now?
266.
Oh, come on. That's, guys, how many times have I had this guy on the show that he's at 266? That's unheard of. That's ridiculous. Yeah, Christian has heard of you. We the people have subscribed to, guys, can somebody in the chat please put his YouTube channel? It's Live and Direct on the Air. I'm not on my laptop. If I was on my laptop, my cord's broken. I'm sorry. I put it up on screen. I'm going to put it in the description later. I think I put the website, so you can find it from the website there. Thank you so much, we the people. Thank you so much for subscribing. Everyone go to subscribe. We need to get this guy to 1,000 subscribers so he can go live. I mean, this guy needs to go live. I mean, especially with what we know, this guy needs to be able to go live. This guy should have literally, I'm sorry, Avia, I'm going to let you talk after this, but this guy should have 1 million subscribers. He should, because I watch the true crime channels, right? There's one true crime channel called like Adventures with a Purpose, where they go and they use their own, there's some rich guy goes out there and he solves old cold cases with his own money and technology and stuff like that. And that's great. That's amazing. Thank God you're doing that. This guy is not some rich guy, right? So this guy,
as you see, Will, look, Will, you see this right here? This is the baby right here that makes all those transcripts. All these, all the transcripts are made through here. We on paper, and we do this ourselves, man. We don't try to ask nobody for no donations. Now we just do it, for ourselves because we know we know what's wrong. We know we have to correct, what's wrong, and that's what we do, man.
You're having a bigger effect than most people. And I talk to people, I've been lucky enough to talk to some very, very cool people, and you're having one of the biggest, if not the biggest effect of any of the activists out there. I don't say that lightly. I'm saying that very, very seriously. So you guys need to check out Live and Direct on there. Literally, this guy is better than true crime. He solved 6 cases. Right? That's true crime. That's legit true crime right there. Yes, Nitram Case, YouTube, Live and Direct on the Air. YouTube, I tried to pin a comment and I almost blocked somebody or put them in timeout, so I can't pin the comment here. It's on the phone. I'm sorry. I'll get the laptop back later tonight. I'm sharing a laptop in the meantime. So, hey, we got to make it work until I order this dumbass connection port for the laptop because the damn cord broke. Sucks. So do you think it's a numbers game with the lawyers and the judges? I mean, because it's more than just the one cop saying, hey, I'm going to get my numbers up, but the judges and the lawyers are involved too. What's their motivation?
Everybody's involved, starting from the beginning of the arresting officers to the investigating officers of the crime scenes, all the way to the attorney that they assign, whether he's 18B, whether he's legal aid, all the way to the district attorney who works with the legal aid to, you give me this guy and I'll give you this other guy, let this other guy go for you. And, they work as a team. And because these are guys that are supposed to be professionals, they, the judge respects these guys and the judge goes along with this here. But I would say all the way from the bottom, all the way to the clerk that's typing the transcript, everybody should be accountable. These people go to the board and they hit them 3 or 4 times after they say, listen, we didn't do the crime, because they want them to admit. They can't admit to something they didn't do. The parole board should be accountable. That hit them 3 times for 2 more years or 2 more years after, they should be accountable. Everybody in the chain should be accountable, and they should pay for these crimes, and they should do time for this. They should do time, because it's wrong. But I'm glad. I'm not gonna say I'm glad, but these cases that are coming up now, George Floyd and stuff like that, where these officers would edit in videos. They show you what they want to show you because they show you that we the aggressors. They don't want to show you the part where the officer came and grabbed me by my neck, pushed me. They cut these things off. So after George Floyd, all these things are coming up now, where now all these unedited real videos are coming up showing the truth. And I'm glad and I thank God that this is happening, man, because the truth needed to be exposed, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, and We the People says, love your work. Thank you, We the People, for the support. Thank you, We the People, for everything that you do. Kristen says, subscribe. Cammed Up Caveman is in the house. Cammed Up Caveman, I'm going to have to tell you, you're going to have to start this video from the beginning once you get a chance. IB says she is subscribed already. So thank you, guys. Thank you very, very much. Thank you guys for commenting. Sean is in the house too. Exactly. This is why we need to hold these scumbags accountable, is what they're saying. Exactly. We pay these people to uphold our rights, and then they go above and beyond to do the opposite and wrongfully incarcerate thousands of people, bare minimum. Right. So I want to talk about, we keep going up around it, but so after the first case, then what's the second case that you work on? How did that come about?
The same way we have Pedro, we have Pedro Diaz, we have Ephraim Diaz, along with other peoples that we like I said, the last one now was Calvin Taylor, the family of Onyx, Federal Star on them, which what I was saying before, he has 75 years to natural life, and he was never coming home, but we converted his time to 29 years, which he has in now, time served, and able to come out on parole. So he's coming out November 15th. Thank God that we were blessed to work with other advocates on that. But that was the last case, and we still working on many cases. Not only, like I said, in New York State, we're working on cases in Puerto Rico. We're working for cases in New York, Connecticut.
Onyx better throw you in the back, at least in the video. Not even just the background. They better have you in the video. And if that happens, let me know.
I'm gonna bring you along with me.
Let me know. I'll be in there with the fake mic. That would be a dream. to
I'm
be
gonna
able
bring
to.
you along with me.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, yo, Onyx, you guys, I love you guys, and please show the love back to my boy right here, man. That's amazing, dog. This guy is freaking amazing. I mean, can you imagine what that must feel like, knowing that you're going to spend the rest of your life in jail, and then someone that you don't even know. You remember, you know how it's nice, like at the drive-thru, like, hey, I'm going to pay for the coffee behind me, and that's nice. Or at the toll booth, someone pays for the tolls in front of you. That's beautiful. Keep doing that, everybody. Thank you. That's great. But all of a sudden, a random dude shows up and frees you from jail. This guy must be thinking, "What the hell? What the
Yeah, he's coming
hell?"
home. And we go. I told you we're gonna go pick him up November 15. He's coming out of Elmira, New York. We're going over there. It's about 3 hour drive there, but we're going there. And Onyx is gonna be there to welcome him home. And we're gonna go from there. We're gonna record. I wish you was there. I wish you guys could come down. But there's a lot of more people that need help. We have I got a list here: Chevy Wanamaker, James William Jamal, Darren Roque, Ricardo Marsden, Darryl Gregg, Christina Cortez Rodriguez. We have the Free Taylor Project, Terrence Keith Rice, Chevin Edwards, Donis Madias, John Jeremy that dog. Man, there's a list. It's a list of people crying, man. They cry. They ain't paying.
So now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm making an assumption here, but I'm noticing a lot of those names don't sound like typical white names. I'm guessing it looks like the majority of the people are not Caucasian.
They're
Is
not.
that
Everybody in this list is African American and Hispanic. African American and Hispanic. There's not one guy that's white in this list.
And you know what? Another thing that you guys can look up. I would put it up on screen. Unfortunately, don't have the laptop. Can't do it here. But you can just Google it. It's very easy to just Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever. Search it. First of all, search police 40%. Police are 40% more likely to abuse their spouses. But police, according to their own data that's been compiled and surveyed throughout the country, are more likely to pull African Americans over, more likely to shoot African Americans, more likely to illegally search African Americans and minorities. And that's the own statistics from the own data. There are some states that don't compile racial data, and I can just imagine what you're doing down there. Alabama, scary, yikes. So that should already tell you what we're going against. And it's I shouldn't say we, because I'm not a minority, but what's still going on here, the racism that's still really, it's pervasive in the system. I mean, you wouldn't see a bunch of freaking white collar guys. You're not going to see the Bilderberg group get locked up. You're not going to see the NSA. They're not going to lock up the real criminals. They're not going to lock up Dr. F, who lied to Congress, right? They're not going to, oh, sorry, we made a mistake about the WMDs. They're not locking those people up. They're not locking up Dick Cheney and Halliburton. You can just shoot somebody. Alec Baldwin just shoot somebody because they're friends with Jeffrey Egg Salad. That's why. They're friends with Woody Allen. Why? They're part of the club. But if you're not a part of the club, and if you're darker than me, which is pretty easy to do because I'm pale as shit, well, then, you know what? You just fit the description. Hey, you're a doctor? You're a strong, tall, good-looking doctor? Yep. But I don't know.
Right.
Black, you're fit the description. And it's also backed up by statistics. So this is a system that it hurts me, man. It really hurts me when you go and do these audits.
It's crazy, man. I go through it. I sleep four hours during, throughout the whole day, 4 hours, because I think about all this stuff. I go home with all these cases in my mind, and I go through them, and I see this, I see what's wrong. I see how they jerked this guy here, how they wrongfully got this guy, and it kills me. I get 4 hours of sleep. It's crazy. I'm in the office, if not this office, the next office, and I'm there all day looking through these documents, man. It's crazy.
Well, thank God that you're doing it, and definitely don't give up doing it, man. You're doing more than God's work. What are some of your, in the past and now, what are some of your inspirations? What are some of the things that inspire you, whether it's other people or music or ideas or things going on? What are some of the things that inspire you or that you like?
Well, I follow pursuit for my dad, Shadi Gross, who, is a kind person, is always helping somebody. I remember when I was young, I used to see my father tell me sit to the back of the car when I was in the front, and I see him bringing a older lady with some bags out the supermarket, and after he drops her off, I asked Dad, I said, "Where you know her from? I never seen her." He said, "I don't even know her. I just did that because it's the right thing to do." So I caught a lot of traits from him of how to continue to help people as growing up. Like I said, he says 100 packages a month. 35-pound packages a month. He does visitations. He sends guys that volunteers every Sunday to go in there to see anybody. Like I said, they go in there and the person don't know who's coming to see them or if somebody's even going to come see them, but they have a visit for 8 hours. They get to get out themselves. So my thing is helping, is assisting, and not to see the abuse. I don't like to see abuse with nobody, man. I don't like that.
Your dad got involved in the prison specifically because there's a lot of
30
different
years.
ones.
30 years already.
So why? I mean, there's a lot of good things to do. That's one of the best. Why did he pick doing that? I'm sure he does other things too, but what made him say, "Hey, I'm going to help these people out, like the lowest of the low"?
Well, yeah, his main thing is prayer. He prays all day. His main thing is reading books and stuff like that. And that's one of his main traits. The Torah says about helping people and assisting people, whether they wrong or they right. If they wrong, try to help them to correct them to be right. And if they did do it, try to help them not to do it again. And this always been, as a kid, it's always been, my father's a guy that you can curse all day and you can hit him in the face, and my father will actually take it because he's just that humble of a guy. I mean, I'm not gonna let nobody do that to me, but the other traits I do. I do. I follow behind him and just helping in general, in anything that I could help him.
Yeah, man, honestly, and shout outs to Dipsy, shout outs to We the People, Kristen Topspin, the people that are rocking with us here in the chat. Much appreciated. I got one or two more questions, but if you guys in the chat want to ask some questions, because they're saying inspiring, that I mean, honestly, man, this is, like I said, you're one of my favorite guests, and I mean, I would talk to you all day, but then you wouldn't be able to get back to working on all this other stuff, and it hurts too, because that's actually work that you're sitting there and you're thinking about these guys behind bars, man. It's the most crazy stuff that you gotta deal with. How can people, even if they can't help you, but separately, maybe they're somewhere else in a separate part of the country, how can people go ahead and do what you're doing? How can people duplicate what you've been able to do?
It's not hard. It's the thing is, everybody know what's wrong and right. You know that if there's a hole there and you step on it, you're gonna fall inside that hole. It's just taking your time and reading the documents, seeing for what it is. Reconstructing it from the beginning. And shopping. You got to shop around. You got to go in. If one lawyer turns you down, you can't be discouraged. When you go in there and take these transfers to this guy and say, "This guy's wrongfully convicted, can you help him?" He tells you no. Don't get discouraged after the third one says no and go home. You got to keep the grind and you got to stick to your guns, man, because these guys rely on you. They have nobody else. They rely on you to go out there and help them. And it's not hard, man. You got to fight like you fight for yourself. You bring them papers and this is me. I'm wrongfully convicted. I need your help. Please read the transcripts and let me know what you think. If you can't help me, let me know. I'll take the transcripts back and continue. But it's not hard, man. People think that you need money to do this. You can put $20 in gas and go all day driving around into visiting attorneys. The thing is, what attorneys are going to accept. And like I said, I thank God for Marty Tancliffe, the exonerated that took the bar. Also, Steve Metcalf, 99 Park Avenue, New York City, who have taken many cases, still continue to take prison cases to help individuals with pro bono. It's the only ones that I'm seeing right now that has actually stepped up because they were in a situation. Now, who would you get as an attorney? Somebody that reads the law by the book, or somebody that was actually there and lived 27 years in prison and know what prison is, and he was abused by the officers in there. So who would you choose? I would choose an attorney that lived the life, not a book, went to college or a lawyer. Them guys are just going with what the book says. This guy actually was there, himself.
Well, book says obviously they're not even doing that because they're putting innocent people in jail, and they think I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. Look at me. I drive a fancy car. I'm a lawyer. Those people, they're prisoners. They're beneath me. That's how most of the lawyers think. Even the good lawyers at the end of the day still think that they're somewhat above I'm not talking about the ones you're talking about. I'm just talking about the ones that we think are good lawyers. I'm not talking about the really real lawyers like you have. But
no, and I can tell you that, well, because the lawyer that I got for Robert Acosta, the Dominican guy for the beginning, you know, he made up this bullshit contract, verbal, whatever bullshit, whatever. And at the end, when the 3.5 came in, he disappeared somewhere. He don't want to hear nothing. So, you know, we had to take him to court, not because we need the money, not because we need him, but because you stop from helping other brothers and sisters in the situation. You know, the money helps other people. It don't help, you know, us. It helps other people. And you stop them by saying, well, listen, the part I was going to give you, I'm no longer going to give it to you. And because it was a verbal contract anyway. And he's sitting around with 3.5 and he's relaxing and chilling. So, you know, these attorneys also got to be held accountable because they corrupt and they crooks.
Okay, so it's the attorney that didn't release the 3 point. He just said, "Oh, you'll get 3.5 million."
So Robert Acosta got 3.5 million for his case after the exoneration. The lawyer probably got one something out of there, but out of there he promised. Listen, since you brought this and you brought everything already made up and everything was, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this part for you to continue what you do. So at the end, you know, money, you know, it changes people. When the money came into the pocket, now he decided he pulled back. He never made the contract. He never did this. He never said that verbally, and you know he decided to go the wrong way. And he doesn't affect me. He affects everybody else.
You know what that sentence? It smells like an audit. It smells like an audit. It smells like this guy. I'm glad he got this guy out of jail, but that doesn't mean you can take the money and run. I mean, what the hell? What was up with this guy? I guess money did change him, huh?
You know, and this is an attorney that was Eddie Broad Street, a block away from Stock Exchange, and I brought you a case that it was already made. It was already done already.
Because you could have hired a team of people, and you could have, instead of getting 6 people out, you could have got 60 people out. And that's a real shame that guy did that. Still, I'll thank the guy for helping getting this guy out of jail. That's great. But that's really shady that he did that. So he might get an audit. He might have to catch an audit. So we'll see.
He needs one.
Yeah, because that's not good, man. I mean, you after freeing 6 people, you should have. And that's the thing, is the government has all the money to do this, and the nonprofits get money from the government, and they have all the money, and they're not doing it. So it takes a regular guy to do this, and then that guy, he can't even get the money when he's getting people out to do the right thing. This guy's not going to buy a Bentley or Bugatti. He's going to keep working on what he's doing, and he can't even get. He's like, look, hey, buddy, you're doing awesome work right here. So because of that, I promise you that I'm going to give you some money so you can continue your awesome work. Psych, wrecked. That's effed up. This guy should have more than enough, and he deserves Bugatti, right? This guy actually deserves Bugatti. I hope you don't buy one, but you deserve one. I mean, for freeing people out of slavery, you deserve a Bugatti, right? I mean, that's just my opinion, but shoot, I mean, you should. That's the thing. These true crime channels, they got millions of subscribers. This is real life true crime. But on top of that, these true crime people are just diagnosing cases that happen and never solving them. You're solving 6 cases at least, and you're working on others. So I just can't keep harping on that enough.
You know, it's crazy. Will, I want to tell you something that was crazy that somebody asked me the other day. He said, how was it possible that your heart was hurting so bad? You was catching almost a heart attack. Will was on the phone with you, trying to make calls, trying to call an ambulance, trying to call this, and you still made it to Massachusetts, 3 hours away for the Moors.
Yep.
Remember that?
That's the thing. You guys don't realize, and I didn't necessarily want to talk about it, but he brought it up in the last stream, is Avi was dealing with his own medical problems at that time, off 3 hours sleep, literally nearly died. And then he drove all the way 3 hours away so he could be at the court case, support the Moors, film, document, audit, and expose what's going on, own the media. So that just shows you the heart that this guy has. And I know this guy behind the scenes has been nothing but amazing. This is a guy that we all have to support. Yeah, so how can people support you? How can people get in touch with you? I'm going to update the links of this show when I'm done. And guys, you're going to have to give me a little bit of time, but it shouldn't be too long. Avi's just going to direct message them to me, and I'll put them in the chat so you guys can go ahead and support everything. Literally, go to his Instagram. Tell people all the platforms. I'm begging. I'm commanding. I never make a commandment. You guys need to get this guy over 1,000 subscribers like yesterday. Like yesterday on YouTube. He's on YouTube. He's on Instagram, TikTok, all these platforms. Tell him good old fake Michael sent you. Tell people the platforms, how they can help, how they can donate, because you get screwed out of money for helping people, and how so you can keep up your amazing work, and how other ways of people helping that people can help you that are not necessarily monetary in nature.
Yeah, if people could subscribe to the YouTube, Live and Direct on the Air, Instagram as well, like I said, your support not only brings change, but it brings awareness. And like I said, it's not all about money. It's all about, appreciation. The appreciation that people showed pushes us to work harder and to get out there in the grind every day, to wake up early in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, to do what we do, and like I said, if they can subscribe, I'm looking for 1,000 subscribers on that YouTube channel that I have, and I want to go live into these central bookings, into these prisons, and I want to start exposing these people, on these cases and what they're doing, prison reform. So the support is great, man.
Yeah, Avi, thank you so much. I always say a lot of great stuff about my guests because I don't have somebody on my show that's not awesome and amazing. But I'll say it again. You're somebody that the history books, unless they're corrupt, and we're going to win, though. I think we're going to win this. Is somebody that the history books are going to write about. I mean, what you've done is beyond amazing. It's more interesting than any Netflix documentary or Netflix movie. It's all true. And I can't tell you guys enough to please support LiveAndDirectOnTheAir.com. Take this video right here, right? And I'm going to update the links in the description. It's already the headline, so you can find LiveAndDirectOnTheAir.com. It's the headline. So can we find all your links there on LiveAndDirectOnTheAir.com?
Yeah, forget about the .com, but the .com is still on there. But the at Live and Direct on the Instagram, on the YouTube, also on the TikTok also.
All right, so I'm gonna end this broadcast here, and then on whatever, if you want to send it over to me on text or Messenger or Instagram, whatever, send me what the links that you want in the description. I'm gonna update the description immediately and put it in there. And then before we do that, Avi, again, thank you again tremendously. Please never give up. No matter what, we need you, and we need 1,000 other. Okay, so this is the important thing here. You have to share this video. Share this video with new people. Share it on text messenger, right? Send it on Facebook Messenger, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Discord, email, everything. Send this video out because there's a lot of regulars, I call them the regulars, that don't know about this. They don't know that people are wrongfully incarcerated. And this is important to get out to them. We need to share this information as much as we can. Get this out here so new people can know about this. Because what happens is not only do new people know about this, but then we can have other people like Avi's. Avi's great. He's amazing. But the one thing better than Avi would be 1,000 Avis who are like, oh my God, this guy is freaking amazing. He's saving people's lives. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And then we have 1 million Avis. Then the prisons are freed. And then I always say this is participatory, right? So this is one of the biggest and best things that you guys should do. Please, please support Avi. And we're all the links in the description. Guys, even if it's just prayers, nice comments, tell them fake Mike sent you. And guys, we're going to keep rocking. I'm never going to give up. I'm going to support Avi until the day I die. Avi's never going to go out, and he's never going to kill himself. He's not accident prone. He's a healthy, good guy. And we're going to keep it rocking, guys. So share the videos. Find Live and Direct on the Air, at Live and Direct on the Air on Twitter, and Instagram at Live and Direct on the Air, YouTube at Live and Direct on the Air. I need this guy over 1,000 subscribers. When he goes out and confronts these people, they could just own his camera, take it off, delete it. Oh, boom, never happened. But when you're going live, boom, if we screen cap, we know what's going on. That way, that's a lot of protection. This guy's giving people freedom. The least we can do is give him 1,000 This guy should have 1 million subscribers, guys. Avi's going to keep rocking. I'm a little upset he's wearing the hat for it, but I get it. That's his style. But I'm going to be here with a fake mic. Oh, 3 for 3 on the catch. Real news. Share the mother video. Peace.